Hey guys, Zakk here from MixChecks.com. Welcome back to another live mixing session. This mixing session is actually going to be extra special because we are using Logic's stock plugins only. So we're just using what comes with Logic, and we're going to be mixing a song called Empires by Radio Not. In this video, we are only doing setting up our Logic session, getting it ready to mix, and then also dialing in that rough mix. So let's jump right in. Alright guys, got my blank Logic project here, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't mixed a song with only stock plugins probably since I first started with Logic almost 10 years ago. So this is gonna be an experience, but there's some things that we still are gonna do the exact same, and one of those is setting up a project. So blank Logic project. What I like to do first is save it. Okay. Title it. Oops. And then I always like to do the folder option with Logic. I just like being able to see my files, see my folders, see where it stores everything, rather than the package option, which shoves it all into one, and then the only way to see anything is if you do show package contents on your Mac, which is annoying. So always do the folder option, save that, and then the reason we save it first is so we can drag our audio files into the audio files folder that it creates. So I'm just going to steal these real quick. So wherever you have your multi-tracks, you take them. Come on there, buddy. There we go. And then you just stick them in the audio files folder, then they're in here. And then whenever we import them, like so, then Logic doesn't have to go find files and create new ones and all that good stuff. So we're just going to go add audio file, go to our actual audio files folder, and then add them in. Done. Okay, and so once we have them in, just going to select them all. And drag them over. And Logic will ask if you want to use these tracks, and we're going to say yes, so it uses this current one. And then boom, now we have all of them imported. Can close the bin. And then first thing I like to do is I mix drums first. That's just the way I am. I'm a drummer, so it just kind of comes naturally, and I really like to have my drums sitting good in the mix, because to me, if you have a good sounding drum mix, that's like, kind of what separates a demo-ish sounding song mix from a professional sounding one. So drums are very important to me, and so I start with them. And so we're going to go through, find all the drums, and put them at the front. So there's a kick, hi-hat, cymbal swell. I'm not sure what all these tracks are yet. So drum overhead, drum roll, comp, drum room, and snare drum. And let's do a quick scan to see if there's anything else. Okay. Looks like we are good. So I'm just going to rename these real quick. So we're going to do kick, snare. I'm not actually sure what this is, so let's go give it a listen. So it looks like it's separate drum fills, maybe, or they recorded the drum fills separately or something like that and comped them. So we're gonna call this tom roll. And I think what I'm gonna have to do with that is go in and chop the snare out and put the snare on the actual snare track, and then leave that as the just tom track. All right, and then hi-hat. Honestly, I hardly ever use a hi-hat track. Usually I can get enough hi-hat out of the cymbals, at least for the way I like to mix, but I guess it's good to have as backup if you really need it. But yeah, it probably won't get used in this final mix, so we'll see what happens with that. Cymbal swell. Let me adjust these real quick. All right, let's see what this is. It's probably what it says it is. Cymbal swell. What? Sounded like there was a kick in there. It's almost like an overhead kind of track that just fades in. I don't know. We'll roll with it for now. And then overheads. We'll just leave this as drum room. See what this sounds like real quick. Okay. Let's check our overheads too. Okay. And then bass. Okay, got the bass going on. Bass 1, bass 2, crunch. We'll figure out those later whenever we're mixing the bass. Guitar 1, stereo. Let's see if it's actually stereo. Nah, I'd still call it mono. I mean, maybe the stereo effects are there, but I don't. It still sounds pretty down the center to me, so we'll just call this guitar 1. Guitar 2. Okay.
Come to you like a fried up.
Let's see. Are these actually stereo? Okay, so see, that one is stereo. That one is too. So we'll just leave all those as stereo right now. Let's see what this is. Okay. We'll see what we can do with those later in the guitar mixing video of this live mixing session. But right now we're going to just leave that as is. These all seem to be in a pretty good order. That's surprising, but I guess it happens every now and then, other than I'm going to put the lead vocal first. I guess it's a vocal comp, which is fine. Okay. So now let's try to dial in a quick rough mix. And I'm doing this, I'm probably going to reference music again in between this video and the next one, but I always recommend listening to some music that you know to really tune your ears to the room you're mixing in, the speakers again, just so that you're going through your mixing process and your ears aren't tuned to something else and you end up making a mix that sounds like crap whenever you come back to it later. So I listened to some before this, and for since this is a rock song, I just picked Chris Lord Alge. His mixes are pretty punchy. Some of them are dry, so I know that my mixes might be a little bit more roomy, wet sounding, but I can at least get a starting point of a really good rock mix.
But I'm gonna come to you like.
Okay, so this is already a pretty good rough mix, just without doing anything to the faders. I think what I am going to do, though, is just to give myself some headroom on the master. I'm just going to drop all the faders by 3 dB. Nothing big there. I am not a huge gain stager. I believe that the DAWs have, they have a 32-bit floating point, so we can work with a ton of headroom. And you can even clip the master and not hear it until you actually bounce it. So while you're mixing, I don't worry about gain staging really at all. I don't know. I don't think it's as big a deal as everyone makes it out to be on the internet, but that's just what I believe. So, all right, next we're going to color our tracks to make everyone on YouTube happy. So, drums. Why are you doing that? Okay. I'm going to go drums. Nope. Option C. Make them orangish red. Got our bass. Purpley. Guitars. Green. Sound effects. Say this is this color. And then synths. Maybe a different version of that color, yeah. And then vocals, especially when it's a female vocal. I like to make all the vocal tracks pink, but I don't know. There it is. Vocals are pink. Oh, we didn't even color. Okay, let's see what this actually is before. Anything? Surely it has something on it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so that is a guitar track. Okay. And then in Logic, for some reason, they have separated the colors of the regions in the timeline and the mixer window. So we're going to do color track by region color. So boom, okay, did that. And now this matches the other one. And we are pretty much ready to mix. Got our rough mix dialed in, and we are going to move on to the drums. And I will see you in the next video.